So we're gonna be getting into the BBQ, the barbecue question. No, the black question. We're gonna be talking about black people because we're on the heels of the Nick Fuentes Piers Morgan collab. They did an interview together, and Nick Fuentes obviously decimated Piers Morgan's hick lib ideology or UK lib ideology, boomer lib thing, where, oh my god, you're an evil Hitler, and he's like, yeah, I don't care. And funny enough, they talked about this big theme that is probably the strongest argument liberals or leftists have when you start speaking about black crime and the proportionality of black males and the percentages and statistics of that. They like to throw the, well, what about the white school shooters? Because in some sense, that's a very relevant point to bring up because it's gun crime. But they missed the mark because of what I'll get into. But yes, we do see white adolescents, white men commit school shootings more than the other races or ethnicities. And I believe that's due. Well, first let's get into why one shoots up a school. They shoot up a school because they are ostracized by the cohorts or their peers, and they feel as though they have to get retribution on their fellow classmates. And that, I was ideating why that is and why you don't see it in the black kids. And you might see gang activity or them menacing each other, but people never talk about the fact that in schools, black adolescents already menace their fellow students, so they don't feel they have a need to do such a heinous act to compensate for the fact that they are of the lowest status within the school. In speaking from anecdotal experience, they were always the highest status, especially in my schools that I went to. They were predominantly white, and being black was like they automatically got status points, not just because they often display higher testosterone, but are more they're more aggressive in general, and I think that goes further in adolescent social hierarchy. So, and they're oftentimes athletes, which goes back to testosterone. They're very good athletes, so that automatically will put them at a higher status in terms of their cohorts. So people just completely misunderstand the whole gamut. They're not understanding that blacks already menace their fellow adolescents, so why would they have to shoot up a school? People who shoot up schools, they feel they have to get a cheap win or a get back. Black people don't have that to the same extent. They're already menacing the school, as I said. And here we can see the black people in terms of county percentages, and this goes to my other video I made. Where do we go from this? Where do we go with this? And I am positing or proposing that blacks, I'm pro segregation. I think the liberal open society has been tried, that experiments failed. So I'm proposing that we go back to segregated society. I think a lot of, I was watching the Cartier family, however you say it. They were reacting to Piers Morgan and Nick Fuentes, and they were saying, I bring that example up because people talk about it like we should understand that we're together in this forever, and we're just, that black people and white people can come together. And I don't agree with that. I think black people should have their own state. I think if you sold it to them in terms of the media, they would actually appreciate it. You have to drip feed it to them, unfortunately, because people don't get it. It's been tried, it's not working, so give them their state and white people have their state. But unfortunately, that's too radical for them, for everybody, in terms of understanding the whole dynamic. And that's this is a shorter video. My last video I talked about the Freemasons. This is kind of a quicker one because it's so simple in my opinion. But I'll link the first part in the description.